So let's jump into some listing leaks. Now, JT Prime 17, who's been a very reliable source in the past when it comes to Walmart listings, Amazon listings, and all kinds of different early internal listings for computers, for different shopping venues and different kinds of stores that give us a little bit of a peek ahead of what could be potentially coming in Transformer product. And now we have what I like to call the final conclusion of the trio of the Datsun brothers. We knew a while back in early 2002 when we got our EarthRise smokescreen that the Datsuns would be coming at some point, that we would get the whole crew of them. And later on that, we got some listings that were also from JT Prime 17, the War for Cybertron Autobot Alliance 2-pack, which was going to have Prowl and Ironhide. And while we don't have images of those figures, it's pretty clear that it's going to probably be a Datsun-based kind of Prowl based off of that smokescreen mold. And the Ironhide, well, we still don't know yet, but we could all imagine of something of a Generation 1 nature. Now we have a listing of a TRA WFC BLUESTREAK, and it has also the Hasbro product code there. It comes from a German website that obviously is linked to different retailers, so this listing seems pretty legitimate. And even if it's not legitimate, I mean, really, it's only a matter of time before we get a BLUESTREAK. The thing that's interesting to me is that the listing has TRA War for Cybertron BLUESTREAK, and it doesn't have the EarthRise name in it. Previous listings have had the EarthRise name in it, so this potentially means that this could be some kind of store exclusive, which is kind of like a standalone thing. It's kind of how, to kind of give a comparison, when BLUESTREAK got his War for Cybertron Siege release, I guess we'll call it, it was part of that 35th anniversary branding line that War for Cybertron had at the time. It's kind of like a separate kind of thing. It was a Walmart exclusive, along with Sound Blaster and those more cartoony-looking colored Optimus and Megatron Voyagers. So it's a possibility that this BLUESTREAK, unfortunately, and it's kind of like the same kind of thing that's bothering people with the Seekers that we discussed just before, it's a very strong possibility that this BLUESTREAK might be a more difficult thing to pick up. He might be more of a store exclusive or an online exclusive, maybe a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. But again, because it comes from a German website and the way that the distribution works, probably won't be a Pulse exclusive, but it'll probably be some kind of exclusive to a store, considering it's not part of the EarthRise emblem. I'm hoping that this listing is wrong, and I hope that BLUESTREAK will just be an easy thing to pick up. Because, I mean, when we look at, like, let's say the previous Classics iterations of them, whether it be, because you had Prowl, you had BLUESTREAK, and Smokescreen, all of them, well, at the time was called Silverstreak. They didn't have the trademark then. But all three of them were available through the Universe 2.0 line and later on the Generations line in very easy ways to pick them up. They were all in retail. They weren't locked behind some store exclusive or a box set or in a convention set. So I'm really hoping that this will be the case too, because already we have EarthRise Smokescreen that's going to be retail. Prowl is going to be in a 2-pack that we don't know how that's going to be distributed. Could be an Amazon exclusive, could be a store exclusive. We do know it's a 2-pack though, so you have to pay more MSRP to get Prowl even if you don't want Ironhide. And now the fear could be if BLUESTREAK's going to be behind something also that might be a difficult means that isn't just mass retail, that could be an issue. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because that is something that could be a problem later on. And I mean, as for like the coloring, of course it's going to be obviously the classic BLUESTREAK colors with the carbon fiber hood. And then we'll see what goes on from there afterwards if we get a blue BLUESTREAK or if they want to have fun with the colors later on. I mean, they never waste a mold, and Lord knows they do it with the Seeker Jets, and the Datsuns are, just as associated with getting a whole bunch of repaints when that one mold hits. When that Starscream hits, we know what's happening. When that Prowl hits, we know what's happening. I'm turning my head here looking at the crew. I mean, there's not a single mold of Transformers outside of the Seekers and the Datsuns that when they get released, that right away there's 3 built-in characters of high tier nature that could be associated with them. I mean, anyone could argue like, oh, if you get a Rumble, you get a Frenzy, and then you get an Enemy, and then you get a Rosanna, and then you get, I'm talking, tier 1 G1 characters that are built-in repaints from the get-go, and that's definitely the case with the Seekers and the Datsuns here. So yeah, let me know if you're excited about this. I just hope, again, I really hope that they don't put this behind some kind of difficulty in order to get it. That's always such a big headache. And again, as we were discussing with the Seekers in the previous segment, that's going to cost people money. It's going to cause people scalping it, and the secondary market is going to try to take advantage of fans that will do whatever it takes monetary-wise in order to complete their teams. So let's keep our head up and hope that this, when we get more information, that this is a mass retail product for our cool Autobot Blue Streak.